Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for watching another Ludicrous Feed video. My blue Tesla Model S is out for service today, and Tesla have kindly provided me with a loan car. It's a red, very striking red 75D, and just to prove it's brand new, or very close to being brand new, I've got the energy consumption sticker with me. As you can see, I love seeing these stickers on Teslas because, as you can see, it says fuel consumption, litres per 100 kilometres, 0. Carbon dioxide emissions, gram per kilometres, is also at 0. So yes, it's emitting 0 emissions currently, and always will, which is pretty cool. There's one thing this car has that my car doesn't have: Autopilot. Oh yeah. I think we're going to go for a drive on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Let's go. Alright, so I'm about to hit the entrance of the Warringah Freeway, which arguably is Australia's busiest road. There's about 10 or maybe even 15 lanes of traffic going both directions on and off the Harbour Bridge. And I must say, I am a little bit nervous. I haven't been this nervous driving since basically passing my provisional exam for my Ps, so this will be interesting. I guess I've got my brown underpants on. I've gone to the bathroom already, and we're about to give Autopilot a try. Now, just before I use Autopilot, I just wanted to let you know the rules of engagement. There's no actual laws around autonomous driving just yet in New South Wales, just because the technology is so new, but essentially the rules state that you must have a human driver in the driver's seat for any vehicle, and the hands must be on the steering wheel. So obviously I'm in the seat now. I've got my hands on the steering wheel and I'm not going to let go, not for a long period anyway. So here we go. To engage Autopilot, essentially we are going to we're going to touch the cruise control shaft twice, and it's engaged. So there was a bit of a jerk just as it's engaged, which made me a bit nervous. So here we go, we're back on. So my hands are just off the wheel slightly, but very close to it, trust me. And as you can see, I've got my GoPro set up above my head, so you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. So it's, I guess, in some ways enhanced cruise control, really, because it's going at the speed you want it to go, and it's got automatic lane change too. So I'm going to give this a try. So I'm signaling left. No, that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to just disengage for a sec. Now, what I was trying to do there was, apparently if you put the indicator stalk on, it will automatically lane change for you. So that didn't quite work. So let me just get back onto the main Harbour Bridge road first, because the road forks into the Harbour Bridge and the Harbour Tunnel. Okay, so we're back on the Harbour Bridge road. And I was just saying that you can only engage Autopilot when the icon comes on. So the Autopilot is on now. I've got my hands just off the wheel. And I've still got to say, it just goes against every fibre of my being to not hold on to the wheel. Like, you know, you're taught from very young to hang on to a wheel, don't trust the car. You know, all the best drivers and all the best teachers in the world tell you just to hang on, but I've got my hands very close to the wheel, and the car is driving itself. Wow, 2018, here we are, driving itself. It's going at 62 kilometers an hour, 61. Top speed is 70. For some reason it says max 80, so I'm just going to dial that down to 70 because the speed limit is 70 on this road. And look, it's following the road. Now it comes up on my screen, hold steering wheel, and the flashing white. So I'm going to hang on to the wheel. Obviously the wheel's got sensors. So I've got my hands very close to the wheel. There are cars passing me on either side. And you can see the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Man, this is very close to that car. Wouldn't have gone that close myself in a normal car, normal driving, but hey, it's meant to be safer, I guess. So it's going 56 kilometers, 59, 60. Okay. So it's sticking to its lane, and on my screen on my dash, you can see the car just going right in the middle of the lane. And it's got that reactive cruise control, I guess. So it'll go only as fast as the car in front of me, which some cars have nowadays anyway. It's not going to, go at 70 even though you're going to hit the car in front of you. So that's always reassuring. So yeah, there we go. We just crossed the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Autopilot in this lone Tesla. that I've got because my own Tesla is being serviced at the moment. So there we are. Look, I guess on the return journey, I'm going to try and cross the Sydney Harbour Tunnel for you. I'm just going to cancel Autopilot now because we're just heading to slow traffic. So there we are. That's the Sydney Harbour Bridge, southbound crossing on on Autopilot or enhanced cruise control, whatever you want to call it. Not full self-driving. It's still considered semi-autonomous. And I'm going to pause the video for a sec. We're going to come back and drive in back the other way, but on the Sydney Harbour Tunnel. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back. I have navigated my way through the CBD and out through to the east side of the city, and we are just about to enter the Domain Tunnel. I'm just on Sir John Young Crescent at the moment. Those of you who know this city very well, you'll know that there's a lot of tunnels in this east side of the city where the Domain Tunnel reaches the Sydney Harbour Tunnel. Now, I must admit, I'm a little bit more nervous actually going into the tunnel than I was getting on the bridge. I guess worst case scenario is that, if you veer away from the lane, then you get hit up in space. But in the tunnel, if you veer away, you're going to hit the barrier or hit the wall, literally. So let's see how this goes. Interestingly, driving through the city, there weren't that many opportunities to use Autopilot. Not that I would have anyway, obviously, just with all those people everywhere and all those cars. And it's just a big mess at the moment, the CBD, with all the construction that we've got going on. But okay, we're about to hit the Sydney Harbour Tunnel. This is the Domain Tunnel. The Autopilot sign is on, so let's give it a tap. Okay, so all right, about to enter the Harbour Tunnel. Like I said, you're seeing what I'm seeing with the GoPro camera on my sun visor. Now, I've got to admit, that Model X crash recently in California, that guy, I don't know what he was doing, but it's pretty bad, obviously. Not good to have a fatality ever. But when I was in California last year and just driving on the roads there, I saw a few people on their Teslas texting and not looking at the wheel or the road. And I thought, you know what, I am not at the stage where I trust a car to drive me around just yet. And we've seen that a couple of times, unfortunately, with fatalities, like an Uber fatality hit a pedestrian in Arizona and USA, and recently a Model X killing the driver, hitting a barrier. So I don't think we're just quite there yet. I mean, this car's doing pretty well at the moment. It's following the lane pretty well. There's a big truck in front of me. It's slowing down. It's asking me to hold the wheel again, which is good. Just to make sure I'm still around. Like I said before, the rules in New South Wales are that, actually there are no autonomous vehicle rules just yet because they're so new, but just generally you need to have a driver in the driver's seat, and they must be holding the wheel. So I guess this car is doing reasonably well. It's following the road, and I'm watching it very carefully, trust me. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. We're about to hit daylight. I know my son, Electric Evan, is going to be really bummed that he missed out on this, but he's at school. But if you're watching, Evan, there you are. I said I didn't trust Autopilot, and I still don't really trust Autopilot, I've got to say. I'm sitting very still at the moment. I'm totally wired. I'm paying attention. I've got my hands very close to the wheel. I'm following this truck like there's no tomorrow, and so is the car, I guess. And there you have it. It is Autopilot 2018 on a Tesla Model S, which has now crossed the harbour, southbound on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, using the Warringah Freeway, which I said was one of Australia's busiest roads, with about 10 to 15 lanes going which way, every way. And then I've gone northbound on the Sydney Harbour Tunnel, and it's done a reasonable job. It's slow, but I've been following the trucks, so what can you do? And I'm still on the Warringah Freeway now, going northbound. I'm just not keen to change lanes just yet. Look, I'm going to take over just for 1 sec so I can at least get onto this lane to my right so I can go back to my place of residence. I'm still on the Warringah Freeway, still on autopilot, and once this blue car passes me, I am going to indicate right. Okay, that lane change didn't work again. I thought it'd be smoother than that. Alright, so back on autopilot now. I've just got to pass these two big trucks. Now, I didn't try whether it is seamless with the navigation, but I would assume that if you wanted to go somewhere, it would sort of navigate where you wanted to go on autopilot. So I'm going 80 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure whether you can see that, which is the speed limit here on the Warringah Freeway. And going northbound back onto the North Shore. It's holding its speed pretty well. I'm very concerned actually about the road markings, because I know there's one theory as to why the Model X crashed. Look, I'm going to try this lane change thing. No, okay, that didn't work again. So I'm just going to come off that for a sec because that didn't quite work. Alright, well that is my autopilot test on a Tesla Model S. Thank you very much for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. I went northbound and southbound on Australia's busiest road, and I think overall it passed the test. I still wouldn't trust it to drive me everywhere. I still wouldn't be texting when I'm driving on autopilot. That's just not, I don't think it's quite there yet. It didn't lane change for me, which was interesting. Maybe I didn't give it enough time. But if I had another chance, I would try it once more with the lane change, maybe on a freeway when there's less cars around. I mean, I said Warringah Freeway, but that's not really a true freeway. I'm talking about like a motorway where it's just 2 lanes or 3 lanes of just traffic, just clear road with no traffic lights rather. All right, well, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and that's my autopilot test. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. It's a lovely day here in Sydney, which is why I chose to do this test today, because no chance of bad weather. Beautiful day in Sydney. And as always, happy charging. Hey, thanks for watching, and thank you for helping us to bring the electric vehicle revolution to Australia. If you've enjoyed our videos, please take a moment to hit subscribe. We would really appreciate it. If you're close to buying a brand new Tesla, then lucky you. Use one of our promo codes on screen to unlock special goodies from Tesla. Happy charging!